warehouses. Sims is the other side of warehouses. They got the loot, literally the freedom of Georgipol right now, and that's a lot of loot that they can take.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be super happy right now. They know they're the first ones there because they got the vehicles, and they're just going to loot the whole of Georgipol. And I'm curious to see if they're going to stay around there or they're going to rotate somewhat a little bit further away, knowing that that town is free. They can come back to it later. That's a specific strat people do when they loot towns. They don't need to stay there in the first circle. They can move a little bit out and then come back if it rotates there. We see Method rotating pretty early, though. Exactly. And but I feel like the thing that TSM is doing recently is adapting. They used to be just only edge, and only edge just gets you so far. Sometimes you need to do this central and like position. We see Rogue actually getting Kingwin off guard. Yeah, they killed 2 of Kingwin rotating on the west coast, and this is something different for Kingwin. Kingwin are known to loot South George. When
for them, they were in desperate position now. Talking about rotations, as I mentioned, Chaos, they went all the way around Everest through Georgipol, the top of Georgipol, and they've come in. They're going to get themselves a clean entry. Rogue are doing a similar job. They've come all the way down the south, all the way around the edge of there, so you can one building, because a couple of nades could just bounce you all over the place.
Exactly.
All the rotations, KSV, LGD, it's an absolute firing squad as they move on through. Cloud9, Vanguard, everybody's lighting them up, and everybody's coming into Gatka right now. This is the position, KSV and LGD, Method all crammed in there. The kill feed's just gone wild. Everybody down in Vitality, Rogue, all going to have to move. Sun Sister's going to have to move in, whereas TSM and Ghost, who made the push into Gatka, find themselves in a very good position. Andy Pyro actually in that circle as well. Sexy Pig himself, you can see the one man standing for KS. Vanguard, by the way, been quiet so far. 4 players still alive on the edge of the circle.
Yeah, and the north side has been a little bit quiet. It's just been the main action has been just from the west, and the Vanguard has just been watching this, killing a few rotators as well. And the next circle, kind of a bit central, Gatka's still in. So the Ghost Game and TSM are going to be extremely happy. Andy and FaZe, they both going to have to move right now.
Vitality are in a really sticky position. They're on the rotate now, and they're blasting it for Gatka. They're blasting straight into Gatka. Vitality are going to try and get in. They're going to go for the 3-story compound that's in there, or 2-story, I guess, with a roof. And Vitality have got in. Shadow, so they've got 2 in and 2 out at the moment with Vitality. So they managed to get himself in there. Fuzzface gets knocked by Andy Pyro as they try and peek on his rock. He's keeping hold. As a man from Gibraltar, you should be proud of him. He's keeping hold of that rock.
Yeah, he's holding the rock, Andy. Not letting that go, but now he has a really tough task. I mean, it's 3 guys from FaZe, and he's going to rotate out, and this is going to be really tough for him. He's going to start snaking
He's going to a Vanga.
Yeah, but the Vanga is probably going to catch him off guard right now here.
An aid inside Gatka takes Monkey, gets knocked. That's going to be TSM working on that, and Monkey will go down in the end. Vanguard gets a little vision, gets a perfect vision actually, gets a straight old look on towards break there, doesn't manage to get the knock note, only using the M4 of course. They know that Andy Pyro has just moved up close to him, which is why they're trying to nade it down. They're going to jump into Dacia, yeah, away they go. So they're going to make the way in towards Gatka as well, or maybe set up a little compound of their own. You can see there's just a couple of rocks down here. It's going to be perfect for them. Andy Pyro, you see, just set there. I don't know whether Drainage just saw him as he skipped in towards the air to find Legit. Will find Shiv as well. So that's Vitality that moved in. The 2 members of Vitality that had gone into Gatka are now down. So only Shadow and Aroxade's alive for them. Of course, second place team who are chasing on Optic at the moment. Optic went down in 12th, I believe. They need to try and get a much better finish where they are right now, and they've got an open field to pass.
Yeah, 9 teams are remaining right now, so every team wants to get this snaking in this field because it's not too much cover. Andy's still outside the zone, as we see Noble landing a lot of shots on the Vanguard right now here with a really good angle. Just going to prone his return fire with the Vanguard. Drain is seeing Natural there underneath. He gets a knockdown onto Natural. Drainius with really good shots with that 15 times, actually.
Shadow goes down. Aroxade's the last man standing for Vitality. He's still outside the farm, and it's such a horrific pass he's going to make because it's an open field. You can see Jazza snaking it in as well. Noble are inside the white. Jazza and Aroxade is the only 2 that are outside now. Andy Pyro also got to shift himself forward still, and that's going to be dangerous territory because he's going to creep in towards a Vanguard. But if a Vanguard are caught in a fight with Noble here, they may not notice him creeping up behind them.
Yeah, Andy might actually get in there. That field and prone behind.
Aroxade's down. Vitality go out in 8th place, which is, whoa, I'm trying to think of the points difference. It's not great.
Jazza also doing the snake game on the south and eastern side, sorry. He's trying to snake in. I don't know if he's going to be spotted. Vanguard landing more shots onto Noble, just back and forth right now.
Andy Pyro snuck in the circle, so Method now into top 7 as Noble get 2 more knocks. Rogue will go down. They finish in 7th place as Finally, Jazza gets picked off, and a Vanguard take Noble down. Noble go down in 6th place. Consistency keeping up there, by the way. Now, look at Andy Pyro. He has perfect vision on a Vanguard, sees them all there, but certainly does not want to fire. Dren is looking his direction and just basically holding his nerve. He's actually crept Method into the top 5.
Yep.
Very impressive. The circle swings, and my word, nobody inside it. It's gone to the open fields of Gatka.
The only thing is, if Andy has a nade here, they're all grouped up. One nade, Andy could wipe a Vanguard, but I'm not too sure if he does have that nade. We'll see now in a few seconds if he's going to pull it off. I know he's looking at them, but Keen, looking at that headshot.
Who's going to mobilize first? Because FaZe, TSM, and Ghost
Andy
will never make the way out. Andy does take the shots. He gets one single knock, looking towards the vehicle, gets the vehicle knock. Keen will go down, switches across, gets the ×2, gets a right big knock with the AK, straight into the head of Onu there. Can he get some more? As Drenis picks, I think some nades were being tossed out there. You can see them lining up. That nade's going to make Andy move. It's going to run towards him. It only bounces him ever so slightly. They don't really have a clean angle, and every time they peek, Andy's managed to take the shot. He's got to get up now. The zone's on, and he will go down. So that's Method down as FaZe obviously knew that Andy was there the entire time. FaZe peeks out. 6 kills for them and counted as the Vanguard get picked apart. They're down to 1, I believe, as FaZe tries to push up on them. FaZe going to take the shots. They see the last member of the Vanguard, and they will go down in 4th place as FaZe pick them apart. Now, Austin has made the move from Ghost Gaming. He's the only man inside the circle. TSM, Ghost, and FaZe all have to make their way across. TSM lighting up FaZe as they try and make the move across. Haxeti gets knocked by the play zone, so Yempty and FaZe both go into snake mode as TSM now need to worry about Ghost up behind them as they have to try and make the way out of there. Breakmane's fine, Yempty. Now we're looking at Ghost. TSM is just going to really come out, but they're a 4-man squad still. They find themselves the vehicle, looking towards the white, and they can shoot straight through. AMPR taking down to nothing. Smack gets knocked. Quixter jumps around, and Ghost are just lighting TSM up there. They're going to get themselves 1-2. They fire and break. TSM get destroyed, and Ghost Gaming take the chicken dinner as FaZe yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. And we see Tempo Storm now starting to rotate on the north side. Everyone's pretty much getting in except for KSV, Vanguard, and TSM, and they're all on the west side. Same for Ghost Gaming. Austin, unfortunately, he was left alone. We saw earlier his teammates die. He's going to have to come in from the north side and seems to be the most packed. So I'm curious to see how that goes. KSV is starting to run and rotate with their vehicles on our screen right now. Going to run into possibly FaZe and a Vanguard in a few seconds as we see the map. Few shots going here and there, but no one really knocking himself out.
Where's Tempo going to go? They've come in so late, and they're running between everyone, right? They're
half HP as well.
Poor old Austin's on his own. They're actually going in towards Austin's complex. Is Austin going to fire? Is he going to hold his nerve? Because he's the last member of Ghost Gaming, remember. They definitely don't want to go down to 15th. They won't hold, they won't stop there because Tempo, it's not inside the circle. LGD themselves also down 1 man, and like some weird split strategy pushed up as well. But they have this one burnt out wreck that's keeping them cover inside the circle.
Yeah, this is just going to be a crazy ending right now. It could be anyone's. I mean, Tempo still have 4 players. Noble still have 4 players. Vanguard was still 4. LGD with 2. Sun Sisters with 3. Method alone with 1. So here we come. And the Vanguard getting a knock on Noble. Noble are all hiding pretty much just right in front of them. And the Vanguard is getting a few pickings. And Sun Sisters leaving.
Pushing. Dranis is going to find them. Gets himself a tag. Will get the knock as well. And the Vanguard continues to collect kill after kill after kill. They're up to 11 and counting. And like you say, this is just perfect for them. Mumino finds another. Noble gets picked apart as well. They have this perfect little flank. There's nowhere to hide. Noble have nothing to do. Boom's going to try and get himself creeping away, but Adrenius can spot his legs. They're up to 12 and counting.
This is happening. Tempo Storm is actually pushing on the southeast side against Andy. They're going to walk right in front of them right now.
Andy lies prone, and he will get taken down by Valiant. That's going to be a 6th place finish for Method, keeping consistency in the finishes. But now Tempo have themselves a clear angle, and that's going to be Luke managing to take down Drenis, but a Vanguard will turn their anger their direction. They still have that car for cover, but Tempo have this entire bank of a hill that will give them everything they need to keep themselves covered. LGT still lying prone in the circle.
LGT is just loving it right now. Every team is around them just killing each other while they're just proning there. Same for Noble. That's what they're hoping. They're hoping for Tempo Storm and a Vanguard to fight against each other, lose members so they can take out the win.
circles or not, Noble are into the top 5 again.
Yeah.
Again.
The
consistency has been massive for them, but they haven't been getting the kills. They got Ghost down. Your boy Dre picked off by a nade. Are Vanguard going to try and push on that? I mean, it's a bit of a bloodbath of a run there. Your boy Dre, is he going to get picked off? Will he get revived? Looks like he might just be able to crawl away and get picked up there.
Just
obviously,
back and forth
Keen, I think, went down as well in the distance. It looks like he's going to get revived as well. Mumino gets knocked. Valiant manages to find him. This is putting a big knock in Vanguard's chances of the chicken dinner here, and Tempo now looking like they have a really good position. They're going to rotate back around. The circle goes their way. Noble inside it with Boom and Natural, but Tempo Storm have themselves the wall, and this is perfect now for them to take a victory. They have been bottom place all of yesterday. It's been a torrid time for them in this tournament, but finally they might find a victory.
Yeah, this is a game they need. Tempo Storm have a win on Game 6 and start the momentum for Game 7 and 8. They just got a knock on Natural, actually. They spotted him, but Boom actually gets a knockback on Valiant.
Vanguard need to wait their time here. They've got to clear out Noble here because their smokes are down, so Vanguard could be pushing there. Keep looking towards there. Zampa's peaking pretty high here. And you can see Mumino and Keen back up, so Vanguard back to 4. They're pushing. They're about to break through the smoke. Onu manages to come round. Zampa tries to peek at him. Can he get the shot on the angle? Gets a no. Red taking so low. Doesn't quite get the knock. Your boy Dre down, though. The rest of the Vanguard try and open up. They're trying to blast straight in there. It doesn't quite work out. The brute force angle. Onu manages to get the knock. He's down to nothing, but Maluki puts around the side. The Tempo will be able to finish them off. Vanguard haven't got a lot left. Valiant, the only man standing as Sun Sisters creep up. Keen is still alive for a Vanguard. Onu is knocked. Keen manages to loot out the rest of his teammates. He tries to run out there.
Noble is down, 5th place.
Sun Sisters, can they really cause a big upset? Keen will go down, so that is a Vanguard still down to 1 man. No, Keen still alive, so they've got Mumino and Keen in there. Simba's got to push in.
They're going to res Oni. Keen is resing Oni right now. Mumino's still alive, so they're going to have 3 players for Vanguard. Tempo Storm also resing.
Simpa's got to come in behind a Vanguard here. He's got to hop over that wall. He's going to come straight in behind Mumino. He sees Mumino. It's going to be an AKM straight to the back. Manages to get the shots in, but it doesn't land them. And that's going to be vital because he will go down. It's 4th place for them. Sun Sisters. Valiant pops up. He gets himself 1. Quick response, though, from Onu. With that, Goza doing some serious work. And now Valiant in the lone man standing. 1v2. Sun Sisters.
With 2 players, same for Vanguard with 2 players, with Keen and Oni. And Tempo Storm down to 1. Is he landing the res onto...
I mean, Vesca's in the prime spot right now. He can hop over the wall, and your boy Dre, who's trying to hold the res, but Onu is all there. So if he hops over, he'll get visible. And Mumino also behind him. So Mumino and Vanguard healing themselves up. Your boy Dre, Valiant res, and Maluk's going to get resed as well by your boy Dre. So nobody went aggressive on this, which just gave them a really big chance for Tempo Storm,
There've been so many res. Tempo Storm and Vanguard have been getting knocked left and right right now. 16 kills.
16 kills, holy moly. The Russians, they love this circle. If they don't need to use a vehicle, they're good.
This is the last circle as well, so we got a few minutes before the whole thing will shrink in. So we see all teams holding. Tempo Storm with 3.
Fashion here, he could be the key because he's holding a Vanguard back basically because they know that he's off the side there, but they can't see him along with Vesca. It's this crazy 3-way shootout. So now Tempo Storm, all 3 alive, all healed up, 10 kills themselves. The walkie outfit not going to work out too much for Valiant, trying to make the calls, but where do you go? Because this is we've had about a minute already, so there's a 2-minute still standoff in this before it starts to shrink. Now, do you go to try and tank it with meds? Do you go for the shots? Because we saw yesterday, it was...
Optic and LGD and TSM freeway
and Optic went for the kills, and they got the kills.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how many meds you have, and it depends... for example, here, Valiant, he has 3 first aids. He has no helmet, no vest. So he could stay behind the wall and land the meds.
No helmet.
Yeah, and the rest of his teams could land the damage whilst he just heals. That's a really good strat as 3 players, in my opinion. If I was them right now, I would give that call. Land the heals when the circle's shrinking and let the other 2 do some damage and maybe kill the rest of them if possible. But we see a Vanguard. They have no helmets.
No helmet, no vest.
There's been so many knocks. We've seen so many knocks between a Vanguard and Tempo Storm that are left with no helmets and vests right now.
That Grozer at this close range could be massive.
It's going to melt. That will be just a free shot on no vest or helmet, I believe. So it's really going to be crucial for Onyx.
But Tempo Storm, I mean, they have the double wall, right? And it also depends where it's going to shrink. We don't know where it could go to. It could go north, south, middle. We don't know. It could push him either way. And obviously, the blue damage will chunk you in about 3 hits. So you have to move with it, or you just try and med through it. I'm just trying to think who can med through it. Tempo Storm can. So Valiant could just stay down. He's got 3 first aid kits. He could try and tank it.
But if he was to do that, he needs to take a little bit damage, because you can't start your first state until you take damage.
Yep.
So you need to take a little bit just before it starts shrinking, so you start the countdown of the heal, and then you start healing. Because if that shrinks in and he starts healing it when it's shrinking already in, he might not be able to land that. So here we go, 15 seconds for the shrink, and it's going to be on the northwest side, actually, onto Sunnisters, as you see a little star on the mini-map. That's where it's going to shrink all the way into. So Sunnisters have the circle right now. Tempo Storm.
They realize that they've got to push in. So Vanguard just going to try and hold the ground. They can squeak over to left. Tempo Storm going to flank over right. They find Fietchen. Now they're going to look for the next one. Wesker gets one, but he will get taken down. So now it's a Vanguard in a 2v2.
And they can't get up right now.
They can't get over the hill. Mumino manages to peek. Doesn't matter. They will go down. Play zone will take it.
Spicy. LGD in trouble on the outskirts as well as SST going to find one.
It's Sid just banking off for a second. We'll keep an eye on that kill feed because he'll be doing the same. Remember that teams can read what's going on in that top corner, so all of a sudden they'll be thinking every time they see people die, they're calculating stuff up, they're seeing what position they need to be in. C9 are making a move. I'm not sure whether they actually have the information here. Chaos just on the opposing side at Moody's having a look, so I would suggest he does. I didn't quite catch what kind of gear they were rocking. They're going up and they're all pushing together. This, to me, spells trouble for KLG. Moody strikes first. Can he find a second? Yes, he can. The double comes through. The rest of the teammate will be rotating round the rocks. Frex, take a look up, my friend. You're going to be in trouble. One does answer back. That's going to be Frolicker who steps up to the plate. Two members do transfer and trade off. All four members, though. C9, one player left from Chaos. They pretty much wiped that squad.
Okay, the top two teams are about to close in on each other as well. Vanguard up against Optic. Optic are sitting in the circle right now. Excellent moves, but the nade, he's got away on it now. It's time to strike. Brilliant play. And it's the Vanguard looking in trouble here. Noble tearing them to pieces, but they're also now stretched and thin. And you can see them trying to find places of respite, but there's not much to be found. And this is so brave. There's a player just above him, Mumino. He's letting shots fly. Godspeed hears this as Adaculus goes down, and he's let him to rot. Godspeed needs to move. He knows there's a man above him. The heal comes in. This is terrifying. Method still in a good spot, but Noble just about holding on with a couple left as Kinguin try and remain dominant in this northern spot.
How in God's name did Godspeed go? I mean, that's you've got to be wary because he knew he was there. The information came through because the rest of his teammates were dropping from that top spot. Ewing versus Murasu. He should be able to get this kill, just hiding behind the vehicle. Should push aggressive. His teammates there. Got his cover across his shoulder. Fantastic work. 1-2 switch. It's actually Godspeed to take out Mominu. So that, for me, could potentially be a Vanguard gone, eliminated from this 7th game. Puts them in 7th position. We'll get the update to see if that is all of a Vanguard gone. But we said Noble, they could be the destroyers, which gives them the win here. That's incredible stuff from Noble. It is. They've gone.
It's all about method now. If you want to be looking at this, they've got kills and they've got positioning. They make it to top 3. They've suddenly become a real contender as Optic went out quite early too. But for now, we see the trades between Kinguin and Rogue towards the north. They're battling for superiority up there. The dinks are coming through. The helmets are looking a little withered and wary at this point. There's not much to be done. You're working with whatever you have. You can see Rogue clinging onto this cover for dear life. Cloud9 starting to work their way from the south, take over the small bit of hard cover that's left remaining.
And they're their only team that actually have all 4 players remaining.
Correct.
They need to get a grip on where these other teams are. They can all look together. They can overextend and try and get some sort of information from someone who decides to want to be that kind of scout scenario. Froliker's getting a little bit too overzealous. He may come across Method just chilling over here to the left-hand side. They're looking as well. LGD just camping on the edge, doing the snake, but they've got a long way to go. Grenade comes through, though. Vard's pushed back. Solid's taking a look up.
Simba could be a real nuisance to this. I don't know what his positioning really is like here. He's just prone down. I'm wondering. Solid FPS is so thorough at this point, though. He's really looking for anyone, but he's looking up now towards the northern side, and he catches him down. Simba falls away.
Excuse the
live the king.
You know, Solid does have a solid shot, and every single time we watch his POV, he'll just catch someone, lock on, snaps to the face, eliminates them. Another kill there for C9. 5 teams remaining.
So smart movement from Cloud9. Make noise up towards the east, and they swing back round towards the west, but in their way is Method.
Moody. Who will get the first spot here? You can listen for the footsteps. And he's leaning. Doesn't quite catch him yet. Moody must have some information. He's fully stimmed. Look at them as a full unit of 4. They should easily win this, but Andy's going to be the one on the top. There's 1. There's 2. Turtle takes 2. He turns 2 faces. Can he clutch it out here? Solid answers back, though. He's looking for more. And that, unfortunately, will be method gone. There's a lot of people that are walking wounded. It was a great attempt to knock two like that in a 1 versus 2 scenario, but C9, they live to fight another day. I think that's all 4 players remaining as well. C9, again, just grouping up like that and walking together as kind of a wall, 2-stepping up top. They take care of Andy, 2-stepping down below. Then all of a sudden, the guys from the top of the rocks, they look down, they finish them off. Method, they drop down in 5th place. C9, they look like tanks in this game number 7.
Look at the amount of kills they're rocking between each other as well. It's quite impressive what they've been able to claim. So that could be a factor down the line, but for now, the big 2 teams remaining are Rogue and Cloud9. The remainders outside of that are Kinguin with Vard and just Godspeed for Noble, and he is clinging to that slow side of the circle as best he can. Rogue gonna rain down fire from above, and that could be a shot and a half, but he can't land the peach that you're just praying to come through for.
I mean, they do have the height advantage. I think they potentially have an AUG, if I'm not mistaken. One of these does. I can definitely hear it in play, so we'll look and see who's actually got control of that one. C9 make the push. They do have the trees for some cover, but Rogue definitely have the height advantage, and they definitely do. These rocks are so damn good, but they're letting C9 move, which is... I personally wouldn't have let C9 get this far. Frolicker just steps up to the plate. He takes out Ewan.
You don't want to be peeking these ledges too much because people can take your head off. Even if you got level 2, level 3, that's the only shot they're going to hit is onto your head. So you could be a hyper-aware, the fake peek into the real one. Perfection from Rogue and the kill to follow. Dangerous for sure, but that is exactly what you need. And the circle, look where it's gone. Cloud9 get given the circle to play with, but not with... There's hardly any cover here. You still got Godspeed, you've still got Vard, who can be kind of nuisances, threats, snakes in the grass that can really throw this on its head.
Really is about these solo players right now that are just going to cause so much problem. I mean, you look at C9. Personally, if I were Rogue on the top there, I wouldn't let them get that close. I mean, it was a good trade-off. You know, C9 lost one, Rogue lost one. So for C9, it was a good trade to lose one player, but to be able to get this position that they've got. But as you mentioned, Lauren, these solo players could cause a problem. If C9 engage in a fight, it only takes Godspeed just to poke his head around, join in the fight. You know, knock one from C9. He definitely... If he steps up a little bit further, he's going to have eyes on at least 2 of them.
But Rogue can also kill him super easy, as can Vard. So he's playing the game of depending on others, and here it comes. You can't stay in that blue for long, and you know it.
Oh, he's gone.
As soon as you move, you're going to die. That Org is deadly, even in anyone's hands at this point. Fuffin's looking for more as well. That's the remaining player from Kinguin. We're down to 3, and the shots come through. Cloud9 just hold the ground. You see Rogue trying to do everything they can until they have to move, which is right about now. This hurts like hell, and Cloud9 are going to make it worse. And Rogue are doing what they can, but there's limited options. Frolicker just loving every second of this.
C9 are happy to let teams just batter each other. Meanwhile, they'll step out. Ewan, however, does take one onto C9. That's going to be Frolicker who gets the knock. The M4 does its job, and now we're in to the last 2 teams.
Oh, it's still
that was
going.
A belting kill. So they're going to get the knock on there. It's a 1 versus 2.
You've got FaZe, you've got Optic,
scary.
you've got Cloud9, and you've got Ghost still in this with excellent positioning, taking masses of map control here and a lot of information. The next couple of kills could define the winner. FaZe, as much as they're in the underdog here, I don't think they can actually close out with a victory. They can stop other teams with a chance, and Optic want more kills. So they might be a little hungry for this, and if I'm honest, I wouldn't still want to walk into FaZe.
If you're a Vanga fan, you'd be shouting FaZe up right now because they can do so much damage to Optic. Shots will come through. Bauer's going to take a few. Hides back, but a bullet does come back. They push them in. 3 kills in the back here for FaZe. More bullets coming in, but that circle's going to move. The blue will force them in. They do have the slower side to Optic Gaming, so they can outrun this circle. But Optic a little bit further in. They can mop them up on the retreat. We'll see how this one goes. The vehicles come through. FaZe, they just beeline it towards that circle. They're all in. Optic have been gifted a little bit of a chance here. Meanwhile, Ghost Gaming and C9, solid. The last man standing for Cloud9. He answers back.
Optic have KSV in their way, and KSV just pushed out of the safety into the fight as well. That's pretty insane.
Mad.
That is really aggressive play for them. They're holding this ground. They want Optic to have the pressure on them. KSV set up the line of defense. Optic have to break past it, and you know they're beaten, they're broken. They've been battered, but they're coming out again. Hypok, he's a madman. He's completely unleashed right now. Yunu stands up. He's freezing. Oh, he goes down. Hypok again. Does not know when he's dead. And there it is. Optic are playing incredible PUBG right now. This is what you want to be seeing in a final round. This is Optic proving proving they are a top-tier team, and who can stop them right now?
They're feeling it, boys and girls. Oh, my word. Optic Gaming pushing in, not a problem whatsoever. Every single team that stands in their way, they accept the challenge and knock them down. The next team that may step up is going to be a combination of Ghost Gaming and C9. They're looking towards the edge of that circle. You can hear the bullets coming through.
Fuzzface just killed Define legit. They've got an angle on this push-up.
Oh, C9!
They don't know when to stop. Look at these guys. Hypok just found Moody, FaZe helping them out at this point. Bahawak is standing up on the high ground. And you can see 17 pushing in for this, but the blue, it's moving in. An angle, it's been found. Another team down for Optic. These kills are incredible. You've got 11 between them right now. We need to see what more they can do. FaZe have an angle, but look at this high ground for Optic here. The next swing is huge. KLG have the north. Fiend there can cause huge problems, and it's going to play well towards GG, towards Ghost. FaZe don't have far to move, and they can mop up kills here. But Optic, you know they're hungry. They just want fights. They want blood. And they might just get it. Down on that bottom of that hill is Fuzzface. He's the kind of first contact point for FaZe. And Bahawaka's going to spot this out. He's got angles on these guys. He's got an 8 times. He could make this one problematic for FaZe. If they want to move up, they're going to get spotted on this.
Give himself a free crit as well, and an M24 to boot. What a bad man time to get a sniper round. LGD in the water, they're dead. Bahawaka's going on the flank. He's got the suit and he's got a 24.
Level 3 vest.
He smells FaZe just round the corner.
Wait,
but Fuzzface. That's the worry. If he spots him first, tap, 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 Bahawaka's going to just kind of be the person to draw the fire here, so they'll concentrate on them. Oh my God,
excellent shot!
Hits him! Hexate falls!
Look who's pushed close. That could be the end here. This could be it. Fuzzface could be the complete downfall, and they've got support now coming out. You got Fuzzface, you got Yempty pushing up, and the rest of Optic have peeled off. There goes your danger man. Bahawaka is down, and that's some big loot coming in. But quick, smart rotations from 17. Fiend could be the downfall of FaZe. Round the back, but I think they spotted him out. Now, Ghost still have Profi up in this too. So he could play in as a late kind of, I guess, Joker card in this one. So we'll see if he comes into it, if 17 spots him. And Hypok's got a horrible route to run. He's got to hope that Fiend does the damage or buys him time, because look at Yempty, look at Fuzzface. They're moving in for the kill here. They're running up on this one. 3 teams now remain. This is what it comes down to. 7 players alive.
You spoke about Profi. He could be the one that causes all kinds of problems here. If he just steps out and sees one member of Optic,
Hypok's waiting.
He'll change this one. He knows what's going on. He has the kind of information. But with how many members of FaZe alive, it only takes them just to push in, just to rush him. And he'll pick up the kills. Hypok's going in, he's getting aggressive.
Such smart angles. He's denying line of sight.
He'll have the information. They're going to be running, but they're also going to get damage from the blue. They need to run towards him. He can just slowly peel away. Bullets come flying across. They eliminate Hypok. He's down. No way to save him. 17 will push them back. It all depends.
Profi?
What you want from Profi? He could be the one that could ruin this.
There's a little bit of a dip between them, so 17's actually kind of safe. Profi now opens up on FaZe. FaZe are in a great position. Profi as well, going to do what he can, but the play zone has found Fuzzface. So FaZe are looking a little worse for wear, but 3 still alive. Profi towards the northeast. Optic still having 17 towards the southeast, and FaZe looking elsewhere. Trying to get the game, trying to get the map control, and let's see that circle. It's all FaZe's, baby. They've got that circle, so 17's in trouble. His position, it's noted. Profi, do you want to take down FaZe? Do you want to take down Optic? How do you want to define this fight? Can you make a difference? Bear in mind, the north side of this circle has almost no cover to it. Almost nothing there. 17 wants more kills. This could be his option. He could try and find this one. If he gets another kill, that could still bode incredibly well.
He doesn't have a helmet, and the opposing player in front of him, Profi, does have a level 3. FaZe know exactly where he is. You can hear them shooting at the tree just to give the warning sign. You step up, Sunshine, you'll be stepping out. They'll easily drop him. If he decides to go, then Profi, he'll opt to go for the holographic, wants to take this fight up close and personal. M16 compensator, level 3 helmet. He can do this. He can just spray him down should he go head to toe against 17. Look at Jempty though. If 17 steps out, he's going to absolutely murder him.
So look at the fast and the slow sides. You've got 6 seconds. Fast side is against Profi. He needs to move kind of first. 17 still closer to the circle. Yempty will die for this, and that's fine. Here comes the circle. Here comes the final move. These teams, it looks like FaZe might have the victory, but overall, those points are going to be everything. Can Optic do any more? No. There goes 17, and now it's down to Profi. Maybe he can pull something through here. Maybe make it tricky for FaZe, or it's the shooting gallery, and it is. FaZe do win the final.